Hello and welcome to Access Asia. I'm Delano D'Souza. Coming up on the show this week. Online scam centers in Southeast Asia generate billions in revenue, but employees in these facilities are victims themselves. And Diwali Barbie hits the shelves in the run-up to the Festival of Lights. We'll be speaking to co-creator Anita Dongre in this edition. But first, it's happened to us all. A message arrives on our phone that looks genuine but turns out to be a scam. The internet has enabled scammers to flourish. In Southeast Asia, the problem has reached alarming levels. Hundreds of thousands of people are employed in scam centers run by Chinese mafia groups. Most are based in Cambodia and Myanmar, where they generate billions of dollars. But the employees themselves are victims.
An enticing insurance policy. An online romance that seems too good to be true. In the age of the smartphone, internet scams are rife, with hundreds of millions of people affected every year. In Southeast Asia, scamming is conducted on an industrial scale. This is Sihanoukville, Cambodia.
Behind me, this building, officially it's a casino, but it doesn't look like one. Look, there are bars on all the windows.
According to this resident, those bars conceal an online scamming center. Fearing reprisals, he wishes to remain anonymous. Here, thousands of people are held against their will. They're lured by the promise of a well-paid job, but are instead forced by gangs into swindling money from internet users worldwide for up to 18 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week. Once a holiday destination, Sihanoukville has, over the last decade, become a stronghold for Chinese mafia groups that rely on casinos and prostitution for their wealth. But these days, online scamming is by far their most profitable business. The mafia groups use torture to force their employees to work, as can be seen on these videos shared on encrypted messaging platforms.
I was beaten with a PVC pipe, about 5 inches thick with a metal core. I was beaten with the pipe. I tried to protect my friends who were about to be tortured.
Did it happen often?
Yes.
Once a week?
Every day.
This Thai man says he was effectively imprisoned by a Chinese mafia group for 6 months. He'd responded to a Facebook ad promising a well-paid job at a casino in Myanmar. But when he arrived, his passport was confiscated. That was the start of his nightmare.
Every day we had to find customers on social media and dating apps. It was a romance scam. Make Thai people fall in love with us and invite them to invest in cryptocurrency. But in the end, I couldn't scam anyone.
These modern-day slaves are said to number in the hundreds of thousands across Southeast Asia. Local authorities are trying to rescue them. This police officer is waiting for news about several young Filipinos whose release has been negotiated.
The other side informed us through phone that maybe tomorrow we'll turn over these 6 victims.
These women had been confined for several months at a scam center near the Thai border in Myanmar. Like many other workers, they'd responded to job offers on social media.
The signal is not good, but they are moving. I'm tracking them on the phone because they have shared their live location.
This police officer oversees rescue operations almost every month. The rescues are conducted in strict secrecy, which explains his caution. Finally, his phone rings. The women are safe and have been taken to a military base.
Kasi nga, yun nga, yung naging masaya ko kanina nung sinabi ninyong dadalhin kayo sa military camp. So anyway, alagaan naman kayo dyan. So update nyo na lang ako bukas. So for today, I am happy because I can see that my people will be released soon.
The victims crossed the border into Thailand under cover of darkness. We're not permitted to film their escape, but we meet them the following day. They will soon be sent back to the Philippines. We've concealed their faces to protect their identities.
We didn't reach the target for the 1 month. We will do a lot of punishment. And sometimes they punch me, they punch us here, then until it gets violent purple.
When the time that the car went outside, we all cried because finally we are free from the company. So we actually feel really right.
Governments in the region insist they're taking the fight to scam centres. Police are conducting more raids this year and thousands of people have been arrested. But it's an uphill struggle. Last year, a study by the US Institute of Peace found that online scams earn crime groups nearly $64 billion.
Diwali is around the corner, but in the run-up to the festival, toy maker Mattel has released the Diwali Barbie. Co-created by Indian fashion designer Anita Dongre, the Barbie has been getting rave reviews online. While this isn't the first time Mattel has unveiled an Indian Barbie, things this time around seem markedly different. We can now go across to Mumbai and speak to Anita Dongre herself. Anita, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. How did this collaboration come about?
Hi, thank you for having me on your program. Well, the collaboration came about 18 months ago. Mattel wrote to us, and I was like, woo, design a doll, and that to a Barbie. I was quite excited. And we began work on the design about a year ago. We went through a lot of iterations because, Indian fashion is so vast and there's so much one can do with Indian fashion. It went up and down a few times. I wanted to get everything right, the jewelry right, the hair right, the look right.
Anita, would you say the sari is the most popular Indian outfit globally? And if so, then how come you decided to put Barbie in a lehenga?
I wanted to do something contemporary. I wanted to show to the world that Indian fashion is not just the sari, that is more than the sari. And I wanted the design to resonate with young girls all over the world, especially Indians. And so I wanted a contemporary version of the lehenga, so I did a skirt, and then instead of the vest, I've done this the vest is inspired by the Rajasthan koti. I wanted it to be modern. I wanted it to be India modern.
India modern. And you mentioned that India is a very big country. You travel from north to south, you see people look very different. Skin tones are very different. How important was getting that right?
It was definitely important for me to make sure that she was she had the skin tone of the average Indian girl. And all the feedback that we received from all over the world, such emotional feedback saying that finally, like mothers have written to me, sent voice notes to me saying that I can finally gift my daughter a doll that she can relate to, and a doll that looks like her, a doll and a skin color like her. So the feedback on the skin color of the doll has been just huge.
Anita, representation really does matter. I remember growing up and watching Riz Khan on television, CNN and BBC, and thinking, wow, that's really cool. That guy looks like me. What's it like to know that now with this design, you're impacting the lives of children around the world, little girls, little boys, what have you?
I just feel happy that little girls and boys, Indians especially, all over the world, for them, this is embracing their culture, and I think that's why truly it's a landmark moment, and which is why so much of emotion is pouring in from everywhere.
Why do you think Diwali is gaining traction around the world now? We do have a lot of events taking place in New York, London, what have you.
I think, Indians have migrated to all corners of the world, and somehow they've never celebrated their culture and their festival in the past. And I think now everybody wants to celebrate their own culture and the festival, and which is why the festival has become hugely popular. It is a festival of light and hope, and it's a lovely festival. It's peaceful. And I'm glad that all of the world is being celebrated. I think even other nationalities and other communities enjoy celebrating this festival with Indians. So it's just gaining huge popularity definitely in the last few years.
I saw that fashion designer Christian Louboutin has come out with a line for Diwali. What does it mean for fashion designers like yourself that Diwali is gaining prominence around the world?
I think when a global designer comes and does a Diwali line, it's acknowledging the country. Today, India is big, and so many global brands want to come in India and want to set up shop here. So I think adapting your design and fashion to Indian culture and Indian festivals has to be, because if you're going to sell in India, you have to understand what our culture is.
We know that Vice President Kamala Harris has celebrated Diwali as vice president. I know the election is a couple of weeks away. Anything can happen. But if she does become president, would dressing the president be something you would look forward to?
I've always dressed smart, intelligent, independent, powerful women all over the world, and I look forward to dressing her too.
What do you see for the future of Indian fashion globally? Because we do have designers like Gaurav Gupta, who's gaining prominence around the world, not necessarily with very Indian type clothes. Do you see that there's some evolution taking place and Indian fashion can become more mainstream?
Indian fashion has to become more mainstream. We have all the talent here. We have the rich legacy of textiles here. We've always just been a manufacturing hub, but in the last 25 years, we have the best design schools of the world in India. We have some of the most amazing designers in India. And I think it's high time Indian designers went global. I myself have a store in New York, Dubai, and there are so many of my contemporaries and peers who are planning to open internationally, take part in fashion weeks. So Indian fashion is definitely going to be recognized on the global world stage.
Anita, congratulations on the Barbie, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much.
And that wraps up this edition of Access Asia. From all of us on the team, thank you very much for watching.